Dear friend, when faced with decisions, it can be difficult to know what to do. But the good news is that we don't have to figure it out on our own. God is always with us and wants to guide us in every decision we make. So today, I want to encourage you to seek God for your decision. Here are some Bible verses to help guide you in this process. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. James 1 verse 5. This verse encourages us to ask God for wisdom when making decisions. God promises to give us wisdom generously if we ask Him. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight. Proverbs 3 verses 5 to 6. This verse reminds us to trust in God's plan and to submit to His will. When we seek God's guidance, He will make our paths straight and lead us in the right direction. The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures, He leads me beside quiet waters, He refreshes my soul. He guides me along the right paths for His name's sake. Psalm 23 verses 1 to 3. This verse describes God as a shepherd who leads us in the right paths. When we seek God's guidance, He will refresh and guide us. Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plans. Proverbs 16 verse 3. This verse encourages us to commit our plans and decisions to the Lord. When we do, God promises to establish our plans and guide us in the right direction. Here are some examples from the Bible of people who sought God's wisdom and received it. King Solomon, in 1 Kings 3 verses 5 to 14, Solomon asked God for wisdom to govern the people of Israel. God was pleased with Solomon's request and granted him not only wisdom, but also riches and honor. Joshua, when Joshua was chosen to lead the Israelites after Moses' death, he sought God's wisdom and guidance. In Joshua 1 verses 7 to 9, God promised to be with Joshua and guide him in every step of his leadership. Daniel, when Daniel was faced with a difficult decision about whether to follow the king's orders or obey God, he sought God's wisdom through prayer. In Daniel 2 verses 19 to 23, God gave Daniel a vision and revealed the interpretation of the king's dream. Joseph, when Joseph was faced with the decision of whether to divorce Mary quietly or publicly, he sought God's wisdom through a dream. In Matthew 1 verses 20 to 24, an angel appeared to Joseph in a dream and instructed him to take Mary as his wife. Paul, in many of his letters, Paul sought God's wisdom and guidance for his ministry. In Ephesians 1 verses 17 to 19, Paul prayed for the believers in Ephesus to have wisdom and understanding from God. Most importantly, we as Christians need to know, what would Jesus do? Jesus reminds us that when we seek God's will above all else, He will provide everything we need. Seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you. Matthew 6 verse 33. Jesus reminds us that He is the only way to truly know God and to receive His wisdom and guidance. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. John 14 verse 6. Jesus reminds us that God is willing and eager to give us wisdom when we ask for it. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives to all liberally and without reproach, and it will be given to him. James 1 verse 5. Jesus reminds us that as His followers, we are able to hear His voice and follow His leading as we seek God's will for our lives. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. John 10 verse 27. Jesus reminds us that seeking God's will sometimes involves denying our own desires and taking up the cross of obedience to follow Him. Whoever desires to come after me, let him deny himself, and take up his cross, and follow me. Mark 8 verse 34. Remember, my friend, that God is always with you and wants to guide you in every decision you make. Seek His wisdom, trust in His plan, and commit your decisions to Him. May these verses bring you comfort and guidance as you seek God for your decision.